Everyone, welcome back to Cloud Institution again. So today in this video we're going to see another very interesting topic on Terraform, that is Terraform local backends. So as part of this Terraform series we're continuously seeing a lot of Terraform related configurations, right? So as part of that, I'm going to show you another very interesting topic on Terraform, that is the Terraform topic, that is Terraform local backend. So what is Terraform local backend? Okay, so we can see what is Terraform local backend. So Terraform local backend is nothing but this stores the state on the local file system. Okay, it looks like the looks that the state using the system APIs and performs the operation locally. We can specify the file path to store the state file, right? So you're going to see what is state, the Terraform local backend. So I'm going to the provider OTF. So previously, as part of this video, I have just configured backend SQL S3, which is for AWS. It stores the state file on S3 bucket, and the backend is with Azure RM. So it stores the state file on the Azure RM, the Azure cloud. Now backend is good to local. Okay, so you can just specify the backend is equal to local in order to specify the file to store the file state file to some specific path. Okay, so what do you mean by specific path? So if you don't give this particular thing, we are going to see so what happens whenever giving this path, and then what happen whenever if you don't give this path. So where is the Terraform state file is going to be saved. All right, so now what I'm going to do is that I have to do Terraform init to initialize this backend. Okay, now before that I'm going to check whether the state file is exist or not. Okay, now I'm going to give ls state file. So no sys file directory. Okay, I'm just saving under the temp folder. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do a Terraform. Okay, Terraform init. Okay, so initializing the backend, right? So what's happening is that it is initializing the backend to the slash temp folder. Okay, so now as you can see here, the Terraform has been initialized. Okay, now as you can see here, Terraform ls no such file or directory. Okay, so it's just initialized, but the no configuration has been created. Now what I do is I'm going to create one IAM user. Okay, that's called user one. We'll see if the state file is going to be using this one. Okay, Terraform plan. I'm going to show you the plan. Okay, so the Terraform plan will take some time. So it's going to be showing that it is going to be creating this particular IAM user. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Terraform apply. Okay, hyphen auto approve. So what happens now is that if you can go back and see the temp directory. Okay, so the file must be created for this particular configuration. Okay, so now let's go back and see the slash tmp. Okay, so Terraform, look. Okay, so this particular file has been created under this particular place. Now what happens is that if you can go back and see this vi into Terraform state file on the temp directory, you can see all the configuration of this Terraform state file will be created. Okay, so you may ask me some question, so even if you don't give so if you don't give this Terraform if you don't give this Terraform state file configuration, so where the Terraform state file will be saved. Okay, so just answer to this one, right? So what we can do is, if you can comment it out, the state file will be saved in the same the same folder where the Terraform configurations are exists. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do Terraform destroy in order to show you that Terraform destroy. Okay, so I'm going to give yes. It's going to be destroying the current configuration. Okay, now what happens, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment it out so that there is no backend has been specified. Now if you can guess that where the Terraform state will be saved. All right, so now we can see that where the Terraform state will be saved, Terraform. Okay, so if we need to do Terraform init to reinitialize, right? So I'm going to do Terraform init, but we need to do a reconfiguration because the already the backend was the local this path, but now I'm going to remove this one. So now, sorry, now what I have to do? I have to copy this one and paste it. I have to do Terraform init reconfigure. All right, okay. So now what happens? So if you do Terraform apply now, okay. So if you do Terraform apply, what happens? Okay, it's backend is requested to Terraform init. Okay, so I need to do Terraform init again. Checking the backend configuration has been detected. We may require the migrating the existing state. Okay, so I think already done the Terraform init reconfigure. Probably it is not picking it up. Okay, so previously I think it was using this particular path. Okay, let me do Terraform apply and see. Okay, now it's not working. Okay, so now I'm going to do Terraform ORM. Okay, so it's TMP and then terraform.state file. So I'm going to delete this one, and I'm also going to delete all the configurations related to this. Okay, in the log file, everything I'm going to delete it. Okay, now it should be using the local. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to Terraform init again. Okay, so if I do Terraform init again, so what happened? So it's going to be initializing the configuration into your local. So here, so even if you don't mention this one, is going to be storing in the local, but this particular configuration will be saved inside in the same folder where the Terraform config has been is creating. Okay, so that's the difference between Terraform, Terraform locals, so specifying with the path, and then Terraform locals without specifying the path. Okay, so it's taking some time. So that's what it is. It was mentioning over here. The local backend stores the store state or the local file system. Okay, it can be of any place. Okay, so that logs the state using the system API and perform operation locally. You can specify the file path to store the state file. Okay, so now that's what we are seeing. We store the file path. Okay, now what happens is that if you do Terraform apply again, what happens? Terraform will store the state file in this one here. Okay, as you can see, this one, watch here. See, the Terraform state file is got created over here. Okay, so now you see what's the difference between. Okay, so now what's the difference between Terraform provider? So as you can see here, Terraform is adding the content over here. Okay, now what's the difference between Terraform provider local backend is equal to local, and then backend without local? Okay, so there is no configuration on the backend. Now it's going to be creating the configuration in your local with this state file here. So previously, if you do like this, it will be going and storing in the specified path. So whatever the path you're specifying is going to be storing it there. Okay, so that's it about this video, guys. So hope you understand this particular video, and this is going to be really helpful if you're going to use the state file in the specific path. Okay, so if you like to watch more videos like this on Terraform series, and please so stay tuned, and if you like this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'm going to see you again in the next video. Okay, thank you guys, and stay tuned.